Hello everyone, welcome back to ShootOut, welcome back to another Premier League prediction video as we get set for Matchday number 4, Matchday Quattro. George, how are you doing, my man?
Mate, I was trying to replicate your intro. I saw someone left a comment on one of our videos saying, I wonder what it would sound like if George did Eunice's intro, but we should definitely try this next time, for sure.
Let's swap intros.
We could try.
We both do.
We could try. I mean, there's more words in your one, so it could be more difficult for me, so it could be funny. But Premier League-wise, other than us just, we're just dragging on the videos for the sake of it, it's an interesting weekend of matches that we've got here. Got 10 games. Luton are playing at home, finally. It's about bloody time that the builders got done there, isn't it, in Kenilworth Road? But they're playing against West Ham. Friday night kickoff, mate. Those horrible late ones. They love that.
I mean, look, if you've got a ground like Luton's and you're trying to be as weird and intimidating and, I don't know, surprising as possible, this is the perfect fixture. Friday evening at Luton, West Ham don't know what to expect. Luton do, West Ham don't. And West Ham are on a bit of a roll at the moment. So how do you see this going, bearing in mind Chelsea just beat Luton 3-0 and Luton are now playing their first home game. West Ham are on a bit of a roll. Do you anticipate a shock, perhaps, or is it going to be straightforward for West Ham?
I don't know. I think I'm trying to balance out how much the Luton are finally at home in front of our fans thing. How much is that going to outweigh just how good West Ham have been? And I'll be very honest, I'll throw an early prediction out early doors here. I don't really think it's going to help Luton that much because I just don't think there's anywhere near enough quality in their squad. Unless they start proving this wrong, I just think they're going to get beat every week from what I've seen so far. I'm going to say Luton 1, West Ham 2. I think they'll get themselves a goal. I think it might be the second goal in the game, get an equaliser. And then West Ham's quality will shine through. 2-1 to West Ham, mate.
I'm feeling crazy.
Oh.
And for that reason... I mean, look, surely there's going to be a game during the season where Luton win, right? Luton are going to win a football match this season, surely. So,
it's only week 4.
I want to say, look, if there's going to be a time, it's going to be their first home league game, just like when Brentford beat Arsenal. Do you remember when Brentford came up and they beat Arsenal? Everyone was like, oh my goodness, this could be that. So,
yeah.
This, I'll be honest, there's no footballing logic to this prediction, but like I said, I'm feeling crazy, and why not? This is ShootOut, we're going to be honest with you. So, as much as my head is telling me West Ham will probably win 2-0, my heart is going, go on the Luton, 2-1 Luton.
2-1 Luton. We are bringing out the early doors contradictory pill here. I think you're going to need to take some tablets after a prediction like that, mate, but maybe you're right.
Why not? Why not? Why not? It probably won't happen, but why not?
There's also a great game Saturday lunchtime too, if you like to be bored beyond comprehension, and that is Sheffield United versus Everton. They've picked some bloody corkers here for the early ones, haven't they? Sheffield United,
bloody
Everton.
TV.
Are Everton ever going to score a goal? That's the question.
That sums it up, really, doesn't it? Look, you'd expect against Sheffield United, you'd think yes, but it's hard to tell with Everton at the moment, man. I feel like you could put Accrington Stanley, with all due respect to them, against them, and they still won't score. So, man, this is a weird one. I'm gonna go with my honest gut instinct on this one because Everton are really disappointing. I could use the same logic that I used for Luton, that surely Everton are gonna win a football match at some point, right? But Sheffield United, being the home side, actually playing quite well against Manchester City in the last one.
Yeah, they did.
I think can use that momentum and get a result.
But what's the result? That's what we're all pensively waiting for you to say.
I am going to go with... you know what? No, I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1.
I think Everton do score their first goal, and I don't think they win it, though. But Sheffield United will give them a good game. I'm going 1-1.
Okay. I'm going to go crazy as well. I think Sean Dyche's Everton win a football match by a single goal to 0. There was a lot of away wins last week in the Premier League, and I've got a feeling it might start this way again, because now we're about to go into what I think should be 2 home wins. Man City, Fulham being the first one. But I mean, we both looked like mugs last week. We both said Arsenal are going to run away with it. They're going to be rampant. Fulham are rubbish. They won't be able to score. Not only did they get 1, they got bloody 2 of them in one game at the Emirates. But like, this is Man City. Are we agreeing on that?
Yes, but we also said that about Man City against Sheffield United, and they just about clinched a win in the dire minutes. So this is really unpredictable. What's weird about this fixture isn't Manchester City. We can all come on here and say, yeah, Man City will win easy. It's Fulham. They're surprising me. Yesterday, they knocked out Tottenham out of the Carabao Cup. Sorry, Spurs. I have to giggle at that a bit because second round, lads, what's going on? But look, someone had to win that game. Fulham ended up doing it. Fulham are on a bit of a momentum. Can they carry that forward to the Etihad, where they've got some, I guess, nothing to really lose against the champions, against treble winners? If there's a chance, it's probably now where Fulham have an opportunity. But yeah, Man City at home, I'm going to go with a narrow win. I don't think it'll be a battering. I'm going to go with a narrow win though. I will go with Man City. I'll go 2-1 to Manchester City.
2-1 to Man City. Eunice, I'm submitting your second yellow card of the series for jumping the gun on my first round. The yellow card has been issued. I'm going to bring the card. I'm actually going to buy some cards here because I didn't think you were going to be bringing so much foul play to the table so early doors on the channel. But for the second video in a row, Eunice has jumped the gun and predicted 2 in a row. Unbelievably foul behaviour.
You know, sorry, ref. I didn't mean it. I swear. I went for the ball. You know, he come in. I went for the challenge. He just about got ahead of me. I got his leg. I'm sorry, man.
It's okay.
It won't happen again, ref. It won't happen, ref.
We'll let you off this time because I do believe George is going to get this score bang on correct this week with a 3-0 Manchester City home win and 2 goals for Phil Foden against Fulham. Let's move into Chelsea versus Forest.
Now, we normally predict this on our channels as well. I think we're going to get the first prediction on here. Chelsea Forest. I reckon Chelsea will pick up some momentum now, and I'm not just saying that, but I reckon that now with the game against Wimbledon this midweek, I reckon now it's an opportunity for players that didn't play in that Wimbledon game to played in the last Premier League game against Luton to just keep the momentum going. They picked up a nice win. Let's keep it moving. I reckon Nottingham Forest will actually give Chelsea a decent game, I reckon. However, Chelsea being at home, Saturday kickoff, I think there'll be a little bit of consistency starting to build. So I'm going with a Chelsea win. Can I predict the score?
I was about to get the I don't have anything red. Hang on, I've got something. I've got the reddest tape measure of them all. This looks like a red card. I was about to send you off there, but because I'm on the payroll, you see, because you've asked for a forgiveness, I'll let you off. But I will be taking this one. I will be taking the first prediction. Not that it matters anyway. If you guys think I'm being a weirdo, if I'm being bitter, this is purely for comedic value, all right? So don't even start to open it. But I will go first. I will take the mantle.
It is your turn.
I think Chelsea are just going to win this game. I don't think there's much more I need to add to it. Forest have actually been good. They're making more signings. They could literally have Nottingham Forest A, B, C, D, E, F and G team at this point. But I think Chelsea they'll keep building. I think we're going to keep scoring goals. I'm going to say Chelsea 3, Nottingham Forest 1. I think they're quite dangerous. So I'm saying 3-1 Chelsea.
I'll match you on the difference in score. I'm going 2-0.
2-0.
I don't think Forest will score. I'm going 2-0 though.
That's a good one. I think clean sheets for Chelsea now are just as important as scoring
100%.
Lots of goals. We want us to bring goals back into the games, but at the same time, we don't want to be leaking it. Although it is fun to see Chelsea score 3, 4, 5. Burnley versus Tottenham. This is a weird game in a way.
This is a weird
Burnley
game.
have been shocking. Spurs have been excellent. But I don't think Burnley will stay shocking. And I really hope that Tottenham don't stay excellent. What are your thoughts on this one?
No, it's true. Burnley, in terms of the footballing style, this is going to be a match because Burnley are trying to play in a nice, expansive way, you know, dominating the ball, moving the ball about. Tottenham are very similar now under Big Ange, as Spurs are starting to call him. So I think we'll see quite a match. But although Tottenham did play their second string team and got knocked out the Carabao Cup, now they feel like, I'm sure, that they have to put themselves back on track. Burnley, however, in the league have been non-existent so far, and they want to make a statement. And this is probably the best time to do it at home against a Tottenham team that you know have just been knocked out of a competition that they shouldn't have been knocked out of. So I am going to say Burnley have a big opportunity to get a result. However, I don't think they will. I am going to go with a narrow 1-0 win to Spurs.
1-0 Tottenham Hotspur victory. You know what?
Yeah.
I think Ange wants to snog you. He's going to get another win for Tottenham here. I think he does, mate. I think he wants to give you a little kiss. And I think Tottenham are going to win 3-2. I think what you said is actually nailed on. Two teams that are looking to play the same kind of expansive football. But I think because Burnley, they're going to start to get under pressure. I think being at home, fans are going to want to see more from Burnley because they've not got very much so far from Kompany's team. And I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this. 5-goal thriller. Burnley 2.
Possible, yeah.
Tottenham 3. Next game. Brentford. Bournemouth. This is another interesting one. Two teams who I think play really nice football. Brentford, a team that are kind of in one of those positions at the minute where they can either really kick on, start to mount some kind of European challenge for the season, or they'll pick up quite a few draws and then they'll play against the big teams, pick up a few defeats, and it's just mid-table mediocrity again. Or there's Bournemouth, on the other hand, who are playing some really good football. The results aren't really coming, but how long until they start to go into, we're going to be involved in a relegation battle again here, how long before that happens, basically what I'm going to say. They've had 2 tough games in a row, Liverpool and Spurs, but I only see this one going in favour of the home team. If I'm honest, I'm going to go with a narrow Brentford win, 2-1.
Yep. I completely agree with the anticipation of Brentford maybe being a bit too strong for Bournemouth. Bournemouth haven't won a game yet, and albeit, yes, they faced opposition that you wouldn't really expect them to get a result in. But Brentford currently unbeaten, and fair play to them. And despite, the draw against Palace, being at home, there's just a certain resilience about Brentford at the moment. When you think about Bournemouth coming to Brentford, I don't really see much threat. So this is where I think Brentford have a little bit more going for them. And I reckon a nice narrow win for Brentford as well on the table. I'll go with Brentford. I'm going to go Brentford 1-0.
Brentford 1-0. I
Short
think
and
that's
sweet. Yeah.
To me, that sounds like the best prediction. I think that could be one of your correct scores of the week. This is a fascinating game now. Brighton versus Newcastle. How do both of these two teams pick themselves up after... It's actually ridiculous how I cannot wait to see Newcastle after being so shell-shocked by Liverpool. It's kind of like, for me, as we said in the review for the Premier League games, this game was one of those, Newcastle-Liverpool, that could make Liverpool's season just go like this. I'm going upwards on the screen right now. And Newcastle's down, maybe. You don't know how they're going to respond. Brighton were humiliated by West Ham. Brighton played great football, but great football don't win your football matches every single bloody week. So with that being said, this, for me, is up there as one of the fixtures of the weekend. How do you see this one panning out?
It's honestly really fascinating. And why? Because Brighton that lost to West Ham can look at the Liverpool-Newcastle game and think, we've got something that we can possibly do against Newcastle, because the way that Newcastle lost to a Liverpool side that played the way that they did, Brighton are probably looking at that and going, we can match the way that Liverpool played and probably shock Newcastle too. On the contrary, Newcastle are probably looking at West Ham's performance and thinking, we've got the blueprint to beat Brighton because we can play that way as well. So it's, I think, going to be quite an interesting tactical setup from both teams here. I think this is going to be a game of the managers and how both teams will set up. Will they maybe give too much too soon? Will they maybe sit back and try and contain? There's going to be so many different variations probably happening in this game that makes it so unpredictable. I'd expect Brighton to pick themselves up and score goals, but I'd expect Newcastle to pick themselves up and defend properly. Because defensively, Newcastle should be one of, if not the best team in the league. Yeah. This is really, really, really... I don't know which way it's going to go. For that reason, because I don't know which way it's going to go, I'm looking at this more like it'll probably be a draw. I'll be honest.
How many goals, though, mate?
How many goals? 2-2.
2-2. I'm going to just throw a 1-1 in there. I think you nailed it. I think Newcastle is a great explanation from you. Newcastle defensively, I think they're going to try and just absolutely tighten things up more than they ever did before after conceding 2 goals in basically the same way against Liverpool. Like you said, Brighton have got those similar kind of players with a similar kind of style to be able to hurt them. But I think a 1-1 draw in this game, at this stage of the season for both of these two, I think there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Palace versus Wolves.
What a cracker.
I think this game. Do you know what? I get a hint of sarcasm in your voice there, and I kind of agree. I do kind of agree with you, but I just think this game could be one of those just crazy open matches in the Premier League. Like I don't know why. It's people always say, George, sometimes your reasoning for things is just woeful, and I've got nothing to back this. Nothing to back this whatsoever. I think Wolves won 5-0 last night in the Carabao Cup. Or if I got that one wrong, then it's embarrassing. Palace also scored 4. And I've got a funny feeling this game is going to take a similar path. And I'm going to throw out a very random Crystal Palace 3, Wolves 2 prediction.
Bloody hell. Where have you got that from?
I don't know, mate. I'm clutching at the thickest or thinnest of straws here, whichever way you want to look at it. Very thick from me, potentially, but I'm going to say 3-2.
Mate, whatever floats your boat, like I say. I mean, 3-2 will be a banging game for these sort of teams. It's difficult because if Palace had like a Vieira, for example, I can completely understand. I'll be like, yes, absolutely. With Roy Hodgson, I still don't really know what to expect. I expect maybe a little bit more of a defensive side, like we have been seeing, but they're not scared to go forward and get goals. So I don't know how they approach every single game. And against a Wolves team that do have the capacity to hurt you when they're playing away, much like they almost got results previously, but they're lacking up top, and this is where I think. Also, there is the whole Nunes situation with going to Manchester City, and I don't think he'll play. So there's that. I think Wolves will probably be a little bit hurt. So I'm going with a Crystal Palace 2, Wolves 1, Crystal Palace to win.
Very nice indeed. I do agree. I think Nunes to City, that's actually one of the most disgusting things. When players start, after a year after holding up the shirt, smiling and being all happy, and then as soon as a Man City comes banging on the door, they're like, sorry, Wolves, you don't want to let me go because the price is too high for City? I just won't bloody play again. Disgrace. I hope his season goes to tatters, whichever way you want to say it.
and he'll probably go. Like right now, I think Man City will get the deal done, but when that sort of thing's happening, I don't understand why players just don't get on with it. Just play. If the deal goes through, happy days, see you later, thank you for everything. But don't refuse to play. Don't refuse to train. Like, come on. Anyway.
Complete lack of class, mate. But a lack of class. No, the opposite of a lack of class. Class is what I would use to describe Liverpool's win at Newcastle. This game of football. I mean, if I thought there was goals in the Palace-Wolves game, how on earth am I going to be able to say and vindicate less goals in Liverpool-Aston Villa? This could be a classic, couldn't it? It
could. And I think if there's a game in this weekend, if there's a game during this match day that I think we might see a shock in, it's probably this one. Because Aston Villa definitely have what it takes to go to Anfield and get a result. Despite Liverpool clawing themselves back, to get a win against Newcastle. And fair play to Liverpool for that, because they needed to show, as Brendan Rodgers would have loved to say, character, right? They did, and they got a win, thanks to Nunes. But that's something that doesn't happen every single week, I'll be honest. There's a proverb that I came across, and it's like, it's not your wedding day every day. It's not going to happen flipping every single week where you're all of a sudden just clawing back from the depths and getting a result. I do think Villa could cause a shock here. Liverpool, I think, are still open at the back. I still think that maybe, yes, they got a result against Newcastle. I wouldn't say it's just luck. I think that was more part on Newcastle's, lacking of proper defensive ability. I am going to say that Aston Villa probably going to get a result here.
You reckon Aston Villa are going to win?
I've got a sneaky feeling we might get a shock, yeah.
Wow, that is a big call, Eunice. It is, in fact, your score. So, you can throw it out there if you want.
I don't want to get sent off, I'm treading on thin ice here.
You could be the referee for the next week. You're the ref next week. We can take it in turns.
But it's the 89th minute. If I get sent off, I'm missing the next game. So look, I reckon Liverpool will score, but I think Aston Villa might get one more. As the famous England song goes, I am going to go Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 2.
Wow. I mean, I actually kind of agree with what you're saying. I just think this game is going to have really done something to Liverpool. I think it's one of those games where either of the teams, if they get an early goal, could just run away with it in a way. Liverpool,
set the momentum,
trying to chase after it again to try and replicate last week. They want to make sure they can keep that momentum going because it could be a season kickstarter. But then at the same time, we've seen Aston Villa get pummeled already once this season. So I think the potential for both teams is there. I think there's going to be goals again, but I can't split it. I'm going to say Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 2. Plenty of goals at your 2 o'clock Sunday kickoff, what leads us into Arsenal, Manchester United. And I'm just going to start it off here and say, I really think this is the game where Man United, we realise just how good they are. And when I say that, I mean just how bad they are. They've got 6 points out of 9. Arsenal are going to hurt after that result against Fulham. Arteta knows that every single game you don't get maximum points in the Premier League is one where you failed if you're chasing down Manchester City. And I just think Arsenal are going to show that in terms of the stages of where these two clubs are at, Arsenal are leagues above Manchester United right now. In the way they play football, in the way I can see them competing for the top honours. I'm going to put my prediction out straight away. Arsenal are going to win this game 3-0.
Bloody hell.
Yep.
3-0. You know what? I don't disagree with you. I think this game is a lot more simple than people anticipate it to be. People look at Arsenal, Man United. Oh wow, big games, almost like a flipping derby. I don't know what way it's gonna go. I feel like it's very straightforward. I feel like, as you said, Arsenal are probably hurting after that Fulham result. Arsenal's problem is against the teams where you expect them to get a result. Sometimes it's like they can get a little complacent. They think the result's going to come in a big game where it matters and the atmosphere is buzzing. The Emirates is going to be popping. Arsenal knows it's serious. They will come out serious, and when they come out serious, they are. I would say, I don't want to be crazy enough to say they are like Manchester City, but they are close to being on par with Man City in terms of how deadly they can be. So,
yeah, they're up there.
I reckon we will get a straightforward Arsenal win. I don't think Manchester United will pose much of a threat. I think defensively they've still got issues. I think Arsenal will probably exploit that earlier on. I expect an early Arsenal goal, and then I think from there it will just be all guns blazing. So, I'm gonna go 3-1. I think towards the end, Arsenal might maybe come off the gas a bit and then maybe concede one, because United do have a bit of firepower going forward. But I'm going to go 3-1. Convincing win to Arsenal.
I think that is a brilliant round of Premier League football. I'm looking again, I've got the old GBFC notebook out here. Why do I always think there's going to be just so many bloody goals? I get what you lot are saying now. I really do. I'm looking at it here, and I've just got there's 3-2s all over the flipping gaff. There's 2-2 draws in there, left, right, and centre. There's only one of them. But, I mean, who knows?
Mate,
I'm here for the entertainment. I'm here to get flipping excited, all right?
You know what's crazy? There was a comment in our last, in our reaction, our review of the last Premier League weekend. And someone put it perfectly. Someone was like, you two are the perfect example and reason why bookies make money. And it's completely legit. It's completely true. I agree fully. We are showing you exactly how people lose money.
Yeah, Man United are going to beat Arsenal now, all right? So let us know your predictions in the comments down below. There was a very famous video that got Frank Lampard, I thought, was it Lampard got sacked from the back of our video about how Chelsea were going to be top of the league after Christmas. And
we got Lampard sacked.
We all know what happened there. Yep. We won the Champions League. So when Eunice and I do speak, there is method in the madness. I promise you that now. Let us know your Premier League predictions for Game Week 4. Let us know your predictions in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, if you enjoy the prediction series. Hit the like button on it and check out both of our channels if you found us from ShootOut. That's all from me. I'll see you in a bit.